Wow. 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 Bruh.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Bruh.
Wow.
Oh my.
Are you dying?
No, no, no. I'm catching up on basketball news. Um, of course, everyone was paying attention to football, so they missed yet another extraordinary choke. Um, in the Thunder Wolves game tonight,
Mhm.
Anthony Edwards goes to the free throw line. He got fouled on a three-point attempt with 4 seconds left in the game. OKC 100, Minnesota 97. So he gets fouled on a three. If he hits all three of these, he ties it and almost certainly forces overtime. He literally choked so hard he bricked all 3 free throws, didn't hit a single one.
Mm. He's not ready for this moment.
It was at home too. Like it wasn't like he was on the road.
Wild. Was he intentionally missing the last one so they could get the rebound?
I believe so, yes. And then they didn't even get the rebound, of course. Just what a horrendous. Yeah. Oh God, it's even worse because I'm watching it as it's unfolding. It was a team rebound because to intentionally miss the last free throw, he threw it off the backboard. The rule is it has to hit
Yeah.
the rim.
Yeah, I'm
He
familiar with
just
that
he
one.
just he just threw it off the backboard.
Oops.
What a complete mental collapse. Wow.
Poor bastard.
Like, that's an example of a game where his MVP campaign should just outright die. Because even though the Wolves have the top record in the Western Conference, he had that legendary choke moment. He himself, he didn't have a bad game, but he didn't really have a good one either. 38 minutes, had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 for 10 shooting. It wasn't bad, but it's like you need your star to produce more, especially in a game where they only lost because your star choked on the free throw line. Meanwhile, Shea, who's also out there in the MVP campaign, had 33 points on 10 for 22 shooting, and 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 rebounds.
You done good. You restored order to the night market.
I mean, you gotta do more.
You got the right attitude. It's gonna pay off for you.
What's really extraordinary is that the Bucks only beat the Pistons by 6 points.
Nice.
Same as everyone. If you want to drive a good route,
How?
That's right.
How was it not like a disastrous game for the Pistons? My God.
From now on, it's yours.
Thanks. I appreciate it, Winston.
Dog eyes will. Right now it's his route, but you know how to deal with it, huh?
It'll be my fucking
Crazy.
pleasure.
I gotta take this. Take a few of the guys with you to back you up.
Let's go.
Out of nowhere in the last month, they're 14-4 right now.
We're going on offense.
What,
Taking
the
over Marlboro
Pistons?
Drive. One man per stop. Anybody gives you shit.
No, the Cavaliers.
Oh, okay.
Smack them around, no killing.
They went from being a play-in team to the 4th seed. They shot up the standings, my God. And in fact, them shooting up the standings has been so extraordinary that you've got the Pacers, who have been a very competitive team all season, have now been bumped down into the play-in. Lord.
How badly is Cade Cunningham hurt? David? Is he out a while or something?
I'll take this one.
Good job.
Yeah, kick his ass.
Wait, hold on, gun. How come we're going after Dog Eyes? Shouldn't we be fighting 18K?
Dog Guy came after us? This is payback. Plain and simple.
What if Dog Eyes complains to Big Smile Lee? What if he sends Mr. Tong after us?
Look, dude. Dog Eyes might work for Lee, but Winston answers directly to Uncle. Nobody's going to fuck with the terms. Nobody.
Oh, how was your day?
All right. The swelling is down, but the pain's gotten worse. But I think the pain's gotten worse because the swelling has gone down. Like, as the swelling goes down, usually the area hurts more, kind of a thing, you know?
Yeah.
So, I think it's just at least healing in a good pace. I have more range of motion, too, which is nice. But, my mom gave me a little bit of her Vicodin, which really doesn't affect me all that much. And I'm sitting here thinking I'm really glad that I'm not a drug addict, because I would have to use a lot to feel anything. Ugh.
Yeah, that's the issue with me taking so much ibuprofen over the last couple of months and why I've completely stopped.
Alright, you can with your fist. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
We have another guy with us.
And my mom was telling me,
His fist too.
as because speaking of ibuprofen, as something I wanted to tell you was,
Remind me of him.
she was telling me I need to be careful about taking too much, because it's not a concern about getting addicted to it so much as
So now
you have
we know
what's
how to spot it.
referred to as like blowback pain
You know what they do to
with
Fred?
ibuprofen.
When Tom
Yeah, I mean, I haven't taken any in like 3 days. I'm probably done with it now. I don't need it anymore.
Nobody coming for you.
Fuck you, Conroy.
I still think about that poor fucker sometimes.
Man,
It's definitely good to stay away from it when you have the opportunity.
Let's go.
No, you stay here. I'll do it.
Well, the way that the Pistons have been playing since their horrendous losing streak stopped has kind of shown that the streak had to have been manufactured. Because if they only lose to the Bucks by 6 points, this is a much better team than having the longest losing streak in NBA history. I think that they should be punished. Their draft picks this season should be forfeited for this shameless tanking nonsense. Because you can't have the longest losing streak ever, because you want people to feel bad for you, to try to be like, well, now if we don't get the first pick again, you know, people are going to think that we're really getting fucked over. It puts pressure on the league to rig it for us. Well, like, bro, you can't do that and then lose only by 6 points to one of the best teams in the league. You can't sit there and say you're one of the worst teams of all time and then barely lose to a championship contender. That's insane.
were the Pistons resting Giannis or anything? I mean, Bucks.
No, everyone played. Yeah, Giannis played 38 minutes. He had 31 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, a block, 5 turnovers even. Pistons were playing some decent defense on him. Chris Middleton played 33 minutes. Brook Lopez played 37 minutes. Damian Lillard played 37 minutes. Damian had 45 points. 12 for 22, 5 for 11 from 3. Perfect from the foul line, 16 for 16. And as if that shit isn't enough, holy shit, Giannis, 11 for 22 from the foul line. First of all, holy crap, he really needs to get his fucking free throws under control. But, Jesus Christ. There were 4 Pistons players that had at least 4 fouls. 3 Pistons players finished with 5. That is just bonkers. I genuinely feel like they were... Having not watched the game, I really feel like they must have been playing hack on Giannis and it almost worked. That completely changes the perception of the game. Yeah, it's like the worst kept secret in the league because everyone knows about it, but it's a secret in the sense that no one wants to discuss it. But Giannis is genuinely one of the worst free throw shooters among all stars in the league. And, you know, Miami beat Milwaukee in the playoffs last year for a number of reasons. Not least of which being that Spo has figured the Bucks out. But Giannis choking from the foul line, especially in Game 5, was a huge fucking reason why they lost. He's playing some of the best basketball of his career. This is probably his best season just in terms of performance, by far. But free throws continue to hold him back. I'm sitting here thinking, if I was Milwaukee, I'd sit there and say, Giannis, I don't want you to work on anything this offseason, no matter what happens. All I want you to do is just work on your free throws. Take a camp with Rick Barry, and if you don't come back shooting like a grandma, we're gonna make sure that you don't hit 65 games next season and you lose out on awards. This is inexcusable. Like,
You know, the crazy thing is, I think he shot like 90% from the free throw line in Game 6 of the finals against the Suns. Like, that's the one game of his career.
That genuinely sounds like it would be Chris Paul's luck to be in the finals, and it's the only series in Giannis' life where he actually didn't fucking throw the series away from the foul line. I'd absolutely believe that. That's just insanity.
I think he had like 50 points in that game. It was an absolute masterclass.
Giannis by himself had only 10 less free throws than the Pistons as a team. That's insane. That was even more retarded. Leading scorer for the Pistons, just a name that'll take it back, Alec Burks.
Yeah, baby.
7 threes. He was coming off the bench for him, but he ended up having to play a ton of time because of how many guys they had in foul trouble. And that's the funny ass thing is, if Burks had been playing like this throughout more of the season, the Pistons would be a much better team. Good grief.
Yeah, I can see that, JS. That's an interesting way to put it.
That's a great post. Yes. As a matter of fact, now that you've said all that, JS, I would 100% believe if allegations like Josh Giddey had to face, which obviously held no water whatsoever because nothing has happened to him, it's been like 2 months now. If allegations like Giddey had surfaced about Giannis, I'd 100% believe it immediately. Especially since he's Nigerian. But yeah, that fucking guy with the toaster, that was just...
I hope he got a lot of subs for that.
That was amazing. Holy shit.
I know what Kramer did. Remember that one episode where he shorted the alarm system out in the apartment?
I may remember other parts of that episode, but I don't remember that specific plot line.
In Elaine's building, there was an alarm system that was going off in the apartment of a woman who was on vacation.
Right! With the cat. Yeah, I remember that one. And then Kramer, he's like trying to coach Elaine through what she needs to do. So she's like, well, Kramer, why don't you do it? He's like, I don't want to do it. The Giddey charge was dropped this past week. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And yet, his reputation is done forever. For instance, here's how bad it was. Chet Holmgren was having his jersey retired by his high school. So his entire team showed up to honor him. The whole fucking Oklahoma City Thunder showed up to this high school to be there to share that moment with Chet and to honor him as his jersey was being retired, except for Josh Giddey, who's not allowed to attend. His reputation is now ruined for the rest of his life off of horseshit because charges dropped. But he's just that's it. He's cooked for life now.
Oh, that shit guy's running away? Dude, this guy's literally... Okay, that's what you get for being a little pussy.
Nice.
Okay. 1. Oh, wait a minute, okay. So 2 could be here. Okay. So the 7 has to be here. Yes.
Oh shit. A lot of people are just reusing Tua memes for Anthony Edwards tonight. Bro, seriously, he bricked both of his first 2 free throws, and then the third one, he fucking yeeted it off the backboard like that time in the All-Star game when Shaq tried to oop it to himself to do a free throw.
Well, in the old days, that used to be legal. I remember Sean Kemp did that once to end the game. We were up by 1, and there were like 2 seconds left, so he just yeeted the ball against the backboard and caught it to run out the rest of the clock. So the other team had no opportunity to rebound it and run a play.
Well, I think Shaq's the reason they changed that rule, actually. Because, I mean, if you think about it, if they hadn't changed that rule, Shaq would have just done that every time he got fouled. He'd have just bricked the first one on purpose, and then he'd have fucking ooped it to himself on the second one. It's all like, okay.
Box out Shaq.
Exactly. Look. It never worked. I remember a lot of people being confused when Whiteside was in like his second season after he started being good. To try to get him to work on his free throws. Spo was like, well, you know, it's not against the rules to jump a free throw. Just people don't do it. But if you can hit a mid-range shot, you should technically be able to hit the free throw if you just shoot it the same. Like, no one's guarding you. But then Whiteside started jumping during the free throws, and everyone was all confused. Like, the refs weren't sure if they should blow the whistle or not. Everyone's like, what the hell is this?
That wasn't the supplier. Yeah, that was the buyer.
That was pretty funny. Can you just use that to send the cops after anybody?
Once I activate all the surveillance cameras around the city, I guess.
Because yeah, I'm sure the game isn't set up specifically to be able to have funny instances. But I'm trying to think about it. It's like, dude, did you have any idea how hilarious it'd be in a game that was set up for this kind of thing to just send them after the wrong people on purpose?
Let's see if it works when you do it like this. Okay, I guess that's fine. You don't have to wait for him to make the sale. I liked Austin Mack a lot, 12 Man for Life, but completely unproven. so it's hard to know for sure.
Inspector Tang, this is Wei.
Man, he picked up his phone
Fang's hands
fast.
down. Popstar will have to reach out to another supplier. I'm thinking we bag them both at once.
I agree.
Now, if I'm gonna get close to him, I'm gonna need a good disguise. Can you have your people send something over?
All right. Keep me informed.
What's wrong with my Lucha Libre mask? Seems like a perfectly fine disguise to me. I am having my doubts on whether or not DeBoer will have success in Alabama, admittedly. Because it doesn't seem like they're going to gain more than they lose. But I'm assuming the standards are going to be a little bit lower for a little while. Like, if he wins 9 games, they'll be okay with that. And, okay. Let's see what this is.
Excuse me, do you speak English?
I like to think so. Not enough to get by anyways. You?
Yeah, Wait, what do you mean? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I kept getting like a shitload of videos. I guess it's because it was trending too.
Looking for this place
Feds was trending
Temple
on
Academy.
Twitter because of
I
this
thought it was around
this
here.
Patriot Front march
Supposed to be
in
a
New
kung
York.
fu school, but I'm totally
So it was a ton of
lost.
stuff
I have no sense of direction.
saying,
Yeah,
"Hey, the Patriot
I know
Front
where
aren't
it
feds,"
is. I mean, it's not too far.
and it was
I
very
give you a
clearly
ride.
astroturfed and making it
It'd be
more and more
easier to
obvious
explain
that they
it
are
better.
fed.
Uh,
Like the
okay,
most
yeah,
obvious
that'd be
aspect
really
that they're
great.
feds
My name's Amanda.
is
by the
that
way, or Amy. Either one is
they
fine.
went on a
Nice to meet
fucking
you.
march in Manhattan, down the streets of Manhattan, unmolested. People weren't harassing them. They weren't throwing shit at them. There's no fucking way.
Can I help you? Here you go.
So what brings you to Hong Kong? You
No
think you'll
fucking
become
way.
the Chinese?
No. I just finished college and I'm doing a bit of traveling. You know, figuring out what to do with my life, that sort of thing.
How's that going?
Well, I've only been traveling for a few weeks, so no real progress on the life front.
Oh god, you're one
But
of
I'm
those
checking
fucking
out-
So
people.
this is the Bam Bam Club.
Back home, I saw a restaurant that looked a little bit like this.
Don't let the locals hear you say that.
But I'm checking out Hong Kong for a while. What about you? You got it all figured out?
I wouldn't say that. I got a few family issues I'm working on clearing up. Maybe once that's dealt with, I'll get on to figuring out life.
Oh yeah? You got any pointers?
Well, the trick to Hong Kong is learning
Thank
to
you,
live by
Kramer.
ancient
We finally
Chinese
had an
wisdom.
excuse
Look both ways
to get
before
rid
crossing
of
the
all
street.
the...
Always buckle your seatbelt and only apply makeup at red lights. Don't text and drive, that kind of thing.
Words to live by.
Sheldon stands up in the plane.
Wow.
Excuse me, everyone. I would like to
This
make
is
an
a pretty
announcement.
cool place
Sir,
for
you
a
can't do
kung
that.
fu school.
Unfortunately, the school isn't in the temple. Not that
Yes,
temple,
Mr.
anyway.
President, I have
They use
considered
this
running
temple
for
as a
public
backdrop
office.
For, what was it? Fists of Carnage?
Jesus.
No, it was using the grandfathers of the Shaolin Fist.
Ron DeSantis has canceled all of his upcoming media appearances, except for one with his super PAC. He was going to appear on CNN, I
Isn't this
think. He had an
supposed to be
appearance
in
on
a
Fox. He's canceling all of it.
Man. I remember in 2016 when these people actually fought tooth and nail because they were like, we have to keep fighting him. We need to rely on the contested convention. And that was the funniest shit is that Trump
I help you.
ended up
I'd
winning by
like
the
to sign
same
up for some
rules that
kung
they
fu
instituted in
classes. I
2012
read about your school in my
to make
Bible.
sure that Ron Paul
you're right.
couldn't take a contested
Said
convention.
You teach a style with a long lineage, but in spite of all that, it's
I still
considered
remember
very
that.
effective.
You want to take classes?
But
Okay.
you know, they still went the
Did
distance
you
back
also
then, but
read
fucking
about
like
this place in some book?
just
Well,
Iowa is all it took this time.
I know.
And then they're just gonna roll over and die. Jesus.
Yes, Sifu Kwok. I used to be your student. I'm
I mean-
Wei Shen.
Yes.
When DeSantis,
Maybe Ron got told of
to,
the best chance is for everyone to just unite behind Nikki.
Your skill level with girls, very good.
I
Now
mean-
time to assess your skill level.
if DeSantis drops out, he's just going to endorse Trump, right? Like, he's got enough sense to do that, doesn't he?
He has to, because just like I said, the only other option would be if he endorsed Nikki, which would be absolute political suicide. Even more than him running this disastrous campaign already has been.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
I see time in America has rusted your skills. Apparently it's rusted your concentration. All men must lose sometimes. American bullet.
If you could learn any form of self-defense, Snacks, which one would you pick? What's your favorite?
I most enjoyed my time doing judo,
That's a good one.
but I like grappling arts regardless. One that I've always been interested in, but like I have no idea where in the fuck I would possibly go to learn it, is the Russian grappling martial arts Sambo.
Now I just train them in the ways of my art. Try to teach them compassion and discretion, and pray for the best.
That was big in the UFC for a while, but right around 2014, it like died out.
Jade Rat. The Song Dynasty, right?
Very good.
The Song Dynasty? That's like 1,000 years old or something. That's real?
Part of a set of 12. One for each animal of the Chinese calendar.
Sifu, you used to have the whole set. What happened to the others?
Stolen by a former student, corrupted by the Triads.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Sifu.
So was I. This collection meant a lot to me. But sometimes you just have to let things go. I should close up. It was good to see you again, Wei. And your lovely fiancé.
What?
Okay, that was fun. What do you want to do now?
I need to get home, but I will definitely call you later.
Oh shit, is this game a waifu simulator too?
I wish.
Well, if there is, I have to admit, of all the, I have to say, Chinese women are not my favorite. There's something there's a slight difference between them and Japanese or Korean women that is just, I don't know, it doesn't work for me.
I think it's probably a cultural thing from decades of communism, where spirituality and, you know, just the genuineness of the human experience regardless got kind of like beaten out of them. Not literally, but in a metaphorical and cultural sense.
Yeah.
Very similar things happen to a lot of Eastern European women, where they pretty much just approach relationships and the idea of even having a family at all as like a transaction, where they're just trying to survive and then there's no actual
I'll go talk to Benny, make him see reason.
Right.
real desire to create life there. And that's the really unfortunate part is, you know, if you look at a Chinese woman who, you know, she might be several generations removed from actually living in China, so she grew up in the West, well, you know, on the one hand, she wouldn't have those problems that have been mentioned, but then she'd have entirely new ones because she grew up in the West. And she'd be the ghetto Asian girlfriend from the San Franciscan slum. What a catastrophe.
Still better than Goth GF in my book.
Yeah. Personally, as a guy who likes monster girls, I was always partial to the big titty moth girl.
So, since you like monster girls, which dual monster did you find the most attractive when you watched Yu-Gi-Oh?
Exodia.
I've seen some hentai where they have Exodia with his gigantic wiener.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I've seen some
No, I
stuff.
just imagine Yugi being like Exodia, obliterate. Like Exodia's holding up Taya. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's like in the Godfather book, Sonny's dick was so big that most women couldn't handle him. That's why his wife was ugly, because she was like the only girl he could find that could handle him without, like, you know, I don't
Being
think I
in
need to go further in
excruciating pain.
detail. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna let me in?
What do you think you're doing?
And, you know, this just
I got a message. from
all
Dawn.
brings us back
Tell
to the
him
reason
send me
why
away?
Pegasus would refer to Yugi
Sorry,
as
of
Yugi
course.
Boy.
Come on in, sir.
Hmm. 12 Man for Life, it's already been decided that no, they're not going to. They've stayed at Arizona. I'm not expecting much this year for
Hey, buddy,
Washington, and there's
VIP's
nothing wrong
only.
with that.
What's going on in there?
This is one of the best karaoke rooms in the city. Nobody gets in without
I
a hostess or
fucking
the
hate
boss's
karaoke.
approval.
I'm sure we can work something out.
Work something out with the hostess.
Fucking hate karaoke so much. Jesus Christ. Fucking hate it when it's in games.
Whoa, damn. Hey, what's your name?
I'm Tiffany. Nice to meet you.
I'm Wei. Wei Shen. You're a karaoke hostess, right? Can you get me into the VIP room?
Sure. Just come with me. You have a bit of an accent. Are you from around here?
Yeah, originally, but, you know, I was in the States for a long time.
Oh, that's so cool. I always wanted to go.
So, what's Benny like?
Benny? You mean the manager?
Yeah,
Benny's
These are
nice enough.
load-bearing walls.
He always
They're
makes sure
not
you get
coming
paid
down.
on time.
that's good. So, who does he rely on for protection?
Come on. Sing me a song.
Oh, please don't tell. No, I don't want to fucking do this. God fucking damn it. I hate this shit. Oh, God. Oh, God. Why does every game that takes place in Japan have karaoke in it? I don't want to do karaoke. Karaoke is like a trigger for me.
Apparently, it's just really popular over there or something.
I know. I believe me. I know. At least the minigame's relatively easy.
You know what's wild is, like, pretty much any time you see a tweet that has at least a few million views on it, it will inevitably have comments that are just absolutely filled
Wow, you're actually really
with complete thoughts
Listen,
trying to promote their OnlyFans,
Oh, yeah,
posting their
I've seen
porn
a
of
ton of that
themselves.
shit.
Used to a little more.
Every
You be the
single
person
fucking
I talk
comment.
to
I'm
about
just
it,
sitting there
right?
like, what the fuck?
Can I get a VIP
I'm watching this funny
It's
Twitch
nicer up there.
video. It's got 12 million views. I scroll down, literally just filled with thoughts peddling their OnlyFans, and I'm like, holy shit.
Thank God that's over.
Yeah, I think we're all disappointed that the Packers hilariously choked. I saw one stat, it was pretty funny. Shanahan's tenure with the Niners, when he's trailing in the fourth quarter, in every game that's occurred, he's only 2 wins and however many losses that happened before, I think 30-some. But those 2 wins are both from the Packers
I have a message from an old
in the
friend.
playoffs, which is
Winston Chu.
really funny.
This isn't such a good idea.
But
He wants you to know that Dog Eyes isn't your problem.
my hope is that the Niners
You any
show that they're
trouble,
extremely
let Winston
beatable,
know, and I'll take
and that the
care of it.
Lions will take them down next week.
You heard that, man.
But
Get the fuck out of here.
it's almost a guarantee that the Lions will not win. The Niners will go to the Super Bowl to face the Ravens, and the Ravens will just fucking flatten the Niners yet again. And then we can all just sit here and say, well, yeah, that was scripted as fuck. Like,
Yeah, the one thing is, the Niners are clearly a much worse team the moment they suffer any kind of injury. Like, tonight happened in part because Debo got hurt. So if they suffer more injuries, like, they've got a problem.
yeah, if literally anyone except Purdy gets hurt in that Lions game, then the Lions will win. But if Purdy gets hurt, then a superior quarterback will take over, and then the Niners will probably improve.
I thought Purdy was awful today. I can't believe he got away with it.
Yeah, he... To Purdy's benefit, he's actually winning these games, but all of these memes about, you know, getting yourself when the lights get bright, they really fucking apply to him. That guy's getting carried by CMC like nobody's business. On Twitch with the force. He got blasted back and instantly shit
Danny,
himself.
get the
That was
fuck out of here!
fucking
Danny,
great.
I know you're in there!
Like, imagine if LeBron won the 8-point game in the finals. That's what tonight would have been like.
Yeah, seriously. Which wouldn't have been hard because they only lost that game by 3. But yeah, that... Considering how his career's gone since then, I feel even more justified in saying that that happened on purpose, because Wade was playing the series of his life. Like, he wanted that ring so bad. He would have gotten the Finals MVP if the Heat had won. And then it would have ruined LeBron's reputation. Because, like, look at what happened to Curry, even though he clearly was the reason that the Warriors won every championship that they won. How many times did he actually get Finals MVP? Especially the first time when they gave it to Iggy, because they're like, well, he deserved it because he defended LeBron. It's like, LeBron averaged a 40-point triple-double. What the fuck did Iggy do?
Iggy shot 43% from 3 when every 3 he took was wide open.
Meanwhile, Curry's averaging fucking outrageous numbers on only threes. It's like, come on. No. Oh, God.
God damn it. Alright.
Yeah, I really hope the Bills lose tomorrow.
There was a funny meme I saw earlier. It was Taylor Swift when she goes to the finest hotel in Buffalo to spend the night before the game, and it's the picture of Hillary Clinton in the apartment, in like the working class apartment, just staring at the sink in like sheer terror. You know what picture I'm talking about?
Yes, absolutely.
Like she's in a working class apartment and she's so confused.
Yeah, that's when she, I found that Twitter post just now. That's outstanding. 7.2 million views, my god. Great picture. That's when she busted the hot sauce out of her purse.
Didn't Hillary grow up...
Look, I can relate to you.
Didn't Hillary Clinton grow up working class? Yeah. How does she not know what a working class living space looks like? I mean, she grew up in Arkansas. There's no way she grew up rich, right?
I'm looking it up right now just to make sure. She was born in Chicago, raised in a Methodist family who first lived in Chicago. When she was 3, her family moved to the suburb of Park Ridge around Chicago. Father was English and Welsh, managed a small but successful textile business which he founded. Her mother was a homemaker. She stayed in that Chicago suburb for the rest of her young life until she went to Wellesley College, which is in Massachusetts. It's a private women's liberal arts college in Wellesley, Massachusetts, founded in 1870. So she went there and majored in political science. During her first year, she was president of the Wellesley Young Republicans Association. As a leader of this Rockefeller Republican-oriented group, she supported the elections of moderate Republicans John Lindsay to mayor of New York and Massachusetts Attorney General Edward Brooke to the United States Senate. She later stepped down from the position, and she said that she would eventually move away from her Republican political position because of the civil rights movement in the Vietnam War. However, we all know that that's horseshit because, again, she joined that group in 1965. That was... As if all that shit isn't enough, she was a Goldwater girl, famously, and is trying to say that civil rights changed her opinion? Ow. Well, you missed the fucking boat on that one, lady. Well, anyway, she graduates from Wellesley, and then she went to Yale Law School. But she didn't go to Arkansas until she actually married Bill.
Oh, okay.
She was after she graduated from Yale Law, she became a staff attorney for just as Edelman.
Relax, Benny. I'm not gonna kill you.
Okay.
Just listen.
Okay. What do you want?
Just what I said. Winston
Oh,
wants
there we
to
go.
be your friend.
Marion Wright Edelman,
And what about Dog Eyes?
an activist for civil
I
rights.
hope you're right. For my sake.
So she was a staff attorney for Edelman, working in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And then in 1974, she was a member of the impeachment inquiry staff in D.C. During the Watergate scandal. And if you remember, Trump famously made fun of her that she got kicked off of that committee for being too corrupt. Yeah, she got kicked off of that committee because she was like open to accepting bribes in order to try to influence how the proceedings would be conducted. At which point she was noted by many prominent politicians of the era, thinking that she had potential to become a future senator. Hilarious. It was during this time that she was in Washington, D.C., that she met and started dating her boyfriend, a young man named Bill Clinton. During this time, she was on the House Committee on the Judiciary for the Watergate impeachment inquiry staff thing.
How are you doing?
That Bill was repeatedly pestering Hillary to marry him, but she continued putting him off, thinking, my career. And then eventually she married him for her career, hilariously, and is the only reason she had anything resembling a political career.
It's important to me. It's important to how you do your job.
I bet she resents the hell out of him for that.
Well, that's for me to decide.
But yeah, she finally marries him, and then that's when he goes back home to Arkansas, because now that he's finished up with school and everything, he wants to start running for Congress. In 1974, he lost an Arkansas congressional race.
Officer of the lawway, same as me.
We are not the same.
So then in 1975, they buy a house together in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
The point
And
is,
apparently a lot of locals made fun of Bill relentlessly, calling him a cuck and shit. because Hillary famously wanted to keep her maiden name and continue going by Hillary Rodham. So, yeah, that's really funny. So that's why she eventually started going by Hillary Rodham Clinton, is because she was actively hurting Bill's political career by making him look like a fucking cuck.
You know,
It's really funny.
I mean, the point is,
Anyway,
she
from
wasn't
there, the rest
super
is
rich her
history.
whole life, so it's weird that she's so weirded out by a working class apartment.
Yes. I think it's because when you listen to all of that, truly, her entire life she had been kept very far away from minorities, and especially the minority experience,
Mhm.
because she's born in Chicago, and then when she's 3, her family moves to a suburb of Chicago. Now, she was upper middle class. Her dad had a successful textile business, but she wasn't exactly rich. But this is back during a time when Chicago was a very white city, and then she moves to an even whiter suburb. She stays there until she goes to college, where she goes to college at what was essentially the all-women's version of Harvard. You know, it's a little bit down the street from where Harvard's located, an all-women's college, very prestigious and all this sort of shit. And when she finished up there, she goes to Yale Law School. After that, she starts working in politics and meets Bill Clinton and then moves with him to Arkansas. So, yeah, you know, she's not exactly rich her entire life, but what's even more is that she'd probably never even seen a black person until she'd graduated from college.
Hey, mister! You got a moment?
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
Yeah,
Do you
maybe.
think this shirt is too tight? That will teach you to be a pro.
Anyway, another thing to keep in mind here is that her buying a house together with Bill and him running for Congress and starting his political career and all that shit was 1975. By the time that picture was taken, he had been living in a completely different strata of society for over 40 years.
Mhm. True.
Wow. That is a well-modeled character ass for a video game. Oh! It was actually like that for gameplay reasons. So they even distract the player as the thief sneaks
Shit.
up behind you and
Oh, God.
picks your pocket.
Okay, I did not want to do that.
I'm still waiting for whatever it was that you...
Run, Gibson, run!
You jumped off the building! And you're totally fine.
I think my guy's an Avenger or something.
That was amazing. Gotcha. Anyway. Hillary's definitely got to be a case of when you're evil on the inside, the evil on the outside starts to show. Because when she was young, he was really a looker. But once she starts working in politics, that's when she really gets involved in the evil. And then she started to age like milk. But when she was young, man, she was a looker.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. If she was born 50 years later, she would have started an OnlyFans.
Unironically. What's really impressive is that Bill actually, supposedly, tried to court her in a traditional and legitimate way, instead of just what he would end up doing, which is a lot of raping. This guy shit himself after the players. God, I love watching that. Okay, what the fuck?
Like, I try not to get into the habit of blaming rich people for being rich because they can't help it. Like, you know, George Herbert Walker Bush can't help it if he doesn't know what a barcode scanner is in a fucking supermarket. That's not really his fault.
Right. Just own it.
But it is just weird seeing these people who are so ridiculously out of touch.
Who try to claim that they're not out of touch. You know, that's why her campaign to run for president was filled with so many cringe-inducing moments of Pokemon Go to the polls. Like, lady, you're basically royalty. What the hell is wrong with you?
Pokemon Go to the polls will never be topped. Even Please Clap wasn't as good as that, and Please Clap was pretty fucking good.
Please Clap is an all-timer. Pokemon Go to the polls has got to be like fucking top 3 all-time. It's hard to pick a single moment that was like the absolute pinnacle. But my all-time favorite moment is when Hillary is doing her the speech that was supposed to go down in history, where she first names the alt-right. And as soon as she says alt-right, you hear a voice in the audience scream out Pepe.
Yeah.
That was one of the greatest moments of my life. That guy probably got killed for doing that. I hope he is smiling in heaven. Being up there with all the other legends like Jesus and Hitler. And Uncle Ted. Do you think people should pump the brakes on CJ Stroud? Without a doubt. I've been trying to tell people for weeks that he is an excellent player, and he's proven that. Cook, give him some fucking time. Like, this is his first season, calm the fuck down, stop trying to crown him right away. It doesn't mean that he's a bad player. He's an excellent player. He's got great foundations. He has some things that he needs to work on, and the Texans themselves are not a team that's like right there yet. You know, they're still in the process of rebuilding. They have an excellent future ahead of them. They have a hell of a lot to be happy about. They should not be disappointed with this loss. But Jesus Christ, I've been trying to tell people for weeks, calm the fuck down.
Yeah. I have said in a couple videos over the last couple weeks that Geno Smith is right now a better quarterback than CJ Stroud, and some people are like, bruh, 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 bruh. They're like, what are you talking about? That's crazy. And I tell them, like, there's no reason to believe that CJ Stroud's better than Geno Smith. He'll probably be better than him next year, but CJ Stroud had good receivers for most of the year. He had an average offensive line. He has an offensive coordinator that's probably about to get hired by as a head coach, and his offense was slightly above average. Geno Smith had the third or fourth worst offensive line. He has a offensive coordinator who is getting no head coaching buzz. He did have really good receivers for most of the year, but the summation of what he had to work with is significantly worse. So Geno Smith produces about an average offense with all that. So if CJ Stroud's so much better, why isn't his offense like top 5? It's not even top 12. Like, slow down. We'll get there probably
Yeah.
next year.
Right. You know, it's like there's nothing wrong with saying everything that you just said. It's Stroud's first season. Take the win. But calm the fuck down. Like, he's not the second coming. In fact, with the way that things have been going in the last couple of years, where quarterbacks show out really, really quickly, but then flame out just as fast in their careers, I wouldn't be surprised if we were here 5 seasons from now thinking, well, damn, you know, whatever happened to that guy?
You got the money? You got the stuff? Let me see the stuff. Of course I got the stuff.
You know, you definitely got to be thinking about what's going to happen next season once the traditional sophomore slump comes in. How he's going to look from there. When is the last Mahomes, hey, he had a bright future after a playoff loss worked out? Well, are you talking about 2-time Super Bowl champion Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, but before then, when Mahomes lost his first playoff game to the Patriots.
Oh.
And people were like, hey, this guy has a bright future, and that worked out. But what he's saying is, a lot of the time it doesn't. Like, that's what people said about Deshaun Watson when he lost to Mahomes. And
yeah. Fair enough. And yeah, that's also perfectly valid. You know, plenty of guys end up losing in the playoffs, and then it could have been any number of reasons for why they lost, but the most possible option could be that they just ran into a defense that actually schemed for the guy. He's now been figured out, and he'll never look as good as he has ever again. Especially when it comes to guys who don't succeed based off of their fundamentals as a quarterback, but instead just try to out-talent everybody. You can't get away with that forever in the NFL.
like,
Only
look at-
time will tell if that was C.J. Stroud's case, but like, again, just calm the fuck down, guys.
Like, different example, different circumstance here. But, like, look at RG3. His rookie year, he makes the playoffs, loses to the Seahawks, and everyone's like, look what a bright future he has, and not so much. Now, he got hurt. But, honestly, I think if he doesn't get hurt, he just becomes a one-read quarterback. Like, he could not read a defense at all.
Yeah.
He would make one read and then run.
Exactly. And that's exactly the case. If he had not gotten hurt, he still would have had the exact same career trajectory. He didn't have that dog in him. No, really, he was just a shitty quarterback. He was great at running, but, like, who the fuck cares?
God, that's disgusting. Oh shit.
Aw. I thought I was supposed to do that. Whatever.
Nah, she's fucking a PRA general. Oh shit, I saw it in the paper. He smuggled her out before they hand over his shit.
Yeah. You know, it's always interesting when you have these failed or washed up athletes who don't get it, which is most of them, but then you have the ones that don't get it to the point where they actually talk about it, like McNabb. I remember Donovan McNabb would go on First Take with Skip Bayless, and the question was like, who is the most disrespected quarterback in NFL history? And Bayless would say it was Tim Tebow because Bayless is Bayless. And McNabb would be like, no, man, it's me. I'm the most disrespected. Like, what the fuck? You can't say that. Like, you sound like a little bitch, a little bitch when you say that.
Absolutely.
Like, do you have any idea how, you know, nobody's going to look at that and go, wow, he's right. He really was disrespected and not taken for granted. Like, you sound like a dumbass when you say that. And it's like, RG3's also heading down that road. He's like, it's Jay Gruden's fault that I failed in the NFL. No, your body betrayed you, buddy.
Yeah, you had plenty of chances to make it on your own, through your own talent and your own capability. And what you ended up with was not being able to get it done.
Yeah, you Derrick Rosed it. You were like
Right.
Derrick Rose, except Rose actually had a few good seasons. You had one good season.
Yeah.
And Derrick Rose
Plus,
is so incredibly humble. People feel bad
Right.
for him.
Exactly. He's not all about sour grapes. He's just like, yeah, well, I can't help that I got hurt, but I did my best to find good situations for me, as he went on with his life.
Hey, what the fuck are you doing down
So then he went, we men, you can assume, and the rest is
Get to boat. Drum.
Like, outside of Knicks fans, people generally like Derrick Rose.
yeah. To this day, I still think he's got probably the most beautiful floater in the history of the NBA.
Oh, shit!
There are a lot of floaters that come close, but my God, Derrick Rose's was something special.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what you're really talking about there, JS, is the idea of, after every tough loss, teams say, we'll get them next year. And it's like, well, what if we don't? Like, the great example was there was a documentary made on the 2002 Sacramento Kings that lost to the Lakers. And there was a video clip in that documentary where some guy working for the team was like, it's okay, we'll get him next year. And somebody else, I can't remember who it was, it might have been one of the owners, actually. He was like, well, what if we don't? What if that was it? And sure enough, it sure was.
Bullshit. 10 keys at 35. You're cheap. My stuff is worth twice that. These are old friend prices. I'm not your old friend. 35. You bring me all the way out here to waste my time? Am I some Taiwanese street merchant? Smuggler Hong doesn't have... Oh? No. 50. Maybe I'll scratch up another 5 keys. 40. Fuck you. 48 or I sell it all at 18K. They don't got a problem paying.
Did you get Popstar Supplier?
I got him. And so did Popstar. 2 shots in the chest.
Damn.
Shuts down the drug pipeline. I'm giving you Popstar on a platter. Got the deal and the double cross on camera.
Good work, Wei. Thanks. With Popstar gone, Sun On Yi is down to only one supplier. The bottleneck will create a lot of tension inside the triad. Watch your back, Wei.
Possibly Darkest Asteroid. I think some coaches might like Brooks, but it's hard to know. Well, Derrick Rose was the one who didn't do pregame stretches at all, right? Which is why it's not shocking that things went the way they did.
I'm not sure if he didn't do pregame warm-ups and stuff like that, but I know that Derrick Rose very infamously had an abysmal diet as a player. He would just eat a ton of junk and shit.
I mean, I can't really talk. I like fast food too.
Yeah, but
I'm not a millionaire.
Exactly. I gotta tell you, if I was an NBA superstar, was getting paid at least $20 million a year to play professional basketball, I would go about it like Steve Nash did. Steve Nash was the biggest health nut in the league during his playing days. He had a team of nutritionists working for him. He stayed up to date on all of the advances in nutritional science. So he was gluten-free before that was even mainstream and all this other kind of shit. He was wild with it. I would do the exact same thing because I'm all I am literally getting paid life-changing money
retire when
for
I'm
my body.
36, and then I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
And honestly, by that point, you might not even want to eat junk food anymore. You haven't had it for so long, you just be like, yeah, whatever. It means nothing to me now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really easy to end up in that kind of situation where, without even trying, you've made it so that junk food just disgusts you now. Because
We've done more to stop drugs coming into Hong Kong than half the narcotics squad combined.
you've been swearing away from it for so long that your taste buds have completely changed.
Mhm. Junk food doesn't even look or sound good once you've gotten used to eating healthy, I'll bet. That's the hard part.
Like, I drink a lot of Coke Zero, and I've had this happen a lot of times in my life. Anytime I go on a diet and I cut Coke Zero out of my consumption, it gets very difficult to go back to it, because when you drink it after you haven't had any for months, it tastes like shit. A lot of junk foods and sodas and energy drinks and things like that are that way, where it just tastes like absolute shit if you're not constantly consuming it. I was reading this story from this very upset guy on the internet who lost a great amount of weight, and he'd been working really hard. He lost 150 pounds over 2 years. During that 2 years, he didn't have any junk food. So he went 2 years without eating any crap. So after he lost 150 pounds, he was so proud of himself, he decided to celebrate with a pizza, and it tasted like complete dog shit to him. So he was all like, that was something I'd been looking forward to for a very long time, and I couldn't even enjoy it.
I am grateful. I must confess, I was surprised to see.
And you know, it's a minor thing compared to your health, especially making such a positive change in such an excellent direction. But still, that's very jarring.
So coming back didn't
You
change
know,
much.
I mean,
Are you
obviously
ready to
pizza's
confront them?
not a delicacy,
Yes,
but I kind
I
of
think
feel
so.
like if the dude went to a better pizza place, he probably would have had a
What
better
would you like?
experience.
There's a good possibility of that, I agree.
Like, go to an actual, like, Italian place in New York or something.
I'm ashamed to call myself your teacher. Your failure is truly breathtaking. My shame at your performance grows by the minute.
Hey, Origin. Ugh. Wait a minute.
All right, all right, all right. You want to fight? You look like you might survive a couple of rounds. Come on, tough guy.
Oh, what is this,
You got
Fight
nothing to
Club?
lose but your teeth.
Ooh, alright, it's a Fight Club. Anthony Weaver. Anthony Weaver. Yeah, that's the thing. San Fran played horribly, and they got away with it. That's the part that's gross. You should not be able to play that poorly and win. It's kind of like when we beat the Packers in the NFC title game. The lesson is if you choke, you want it to be against the Packers, because they're going to choke harder. Yeah, exactly, Carson. They did their thing. I mean, at no point in Curse's career was he even a good starting receiver. He just made some big plays and was pretty decent. He shouldn't even be considered a legend. He's like poor man's Wayne Corbett.
That's a tough one right there.
No, Carson. Alright, so are you gonna just let your friend die like this? No one's gonna come and stop me from doing this over and over again? No.
Seriously, that's the best you can do.
Alright. Oh, that's how you pull up the map. Jesus. I didn't like the way the driving feels in this game, given that I'm playing with keyboard and mouse. Usually, like, the only game that feels really good with keyboard mouse driving to me is like Halo. I like driving in Halo with keyboard and mouse for some reason. Just works.
Thanks. It's fucking great when you're on my side. Wait, we've been waiting for you. You guys smell something? I do. 一直食屎嘅老鼠。You know what happens to rats, Wei?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, Conroy gave me all the details when he was helping me out on that midway.
你收聲啊 Who the fuck do you think you are, huh? You come in out of nowhere and suddenly our guys start to get arrested? He ratted out Popstar Winston. I know he did. Oh, you gonna do to what? This motherfucker right here's a snitch.
Is that right, Ming?
You fucking rat. I sent you to Popstar, and now he's in jail.
Yeah? And who stands to gain the most from that? You're gonna take over Popstar's whole ketamine racket now. No more scraps for you. You'll supply the whole city with drugs. You and Dog Eyes. Popstar's gone, but you're still dealing, aren't you? So who's supplying you?
Are you guys actually listening to this asshole? He's a rat. He's a fucking rat. 你個冇狗用嘅垃圾. You're still working for that bastard, aren't you? 係咪啊? Wait, listen, I swear. Oh, he's a dirty fucker, man.
And being a triad boss, you gotta make some quick decisions based off very limited evidence.
Clean that up. Loyalty's important, Wei. Never forget that. You get in this business for yourself, you're bound to end up like little Lanta. You know what happens to rats when he ratted out Popstar Winston? I know he did. What are you gonna do to what?
Sure. You hear there was a fight the other night? Friends go. So? Your
It's a
friends
club,
are
idiot.
What do you expect?
You good
I'm
girl.
not
You should
complaining.
act
I respect
respectably.
I can be good and then
Hey, hospital bills? What kind of a mission is that? Ooh, a Vespa. Look at this. Look like a character in a Disney Plus movie. You know what I also really like about that game? This game? You can alt-tab out of it without it freezing.
Yeah, that's always a huge positive.
Mahomes and the Chiefs having to go from Tua to Josh Allen to Lamar Jackson to Brock Purdy to win the Super Bowl is going to be like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, but if Glass Joe was the end boss instead of Tyson.
To be fair though, Glass Joe was also still the so it'd be just a rematch with Glass Joe at the end instead of.
Who was better than Purdy? Come on.
No, he's not. Gonna start crying.
For real though, I mean, would it be too much of a stretch really to say that we were the most injured team in the league this year? That we spent so much of the season healthy, but then literally everything just fell apart right at the end?
End the conversation.
I mean, my God.
Nick Wright rides the Chiefs so fucking hard, it's unreal, man. I can't believe it. Oh, okay. I mean, the main thing I know Nick Wright for is being a fucking idiot with his LeBron takes. Like, I don't know if he's a Lakers homer or a LeBron homer, but he's one of the two. Ooh,
Genuinely, I think there's probably more LeBron homers at this point than Lakers homers. And I say that because living in the area and knowing a lot of lifelong Lakers fans, I'm not kidding when I say this. When Kobe died, a huge part of the fan base did too. Like,
yeah.
It's really hard to put into words the damage that did to basketball.
I remember when me and our mutual friend were hanging out in Vegas last year. Or actually now it's 2 years ago, goddamn. We had an Uber driver who was a Lakers fan. We were talking to him a little bit about basketball, and he was like, yeah, I was a big Lakers fan during Kareem and Shaq and Kobe, but I gotta tell you, ever since LeBron got here, I don't really care that much.
Yeah, many such cases.
Mrs. Chu suggested I talk to you. Is she a friend of mine? I need a favor.
What do you need?
My husband is in the hospital and I can't pay the bills. The only thing we have of any value is our car.
You want to sell it?
No, I want you to run it in the harbor. Our insurance is really good.
Okay.
Oh, thank heavens. Just 3 more weeks, I can eat that fucker out of my country.
Hopefully you're talking about Minecraft here.
No, Victoria 3. There's a gameplay element called Dissident, which are sometimes useful, sometimes not, because when you're trying to reform your government's laws in order to change things around, it can be very helpful to have dissidents if it's a country that there's really not a lot of political desire to change the law into a different direction. So the dissident can help for that. But sometimes the dissident supports things that you do not want them to be starting a movement for. And this guy's on the verge of starting a huge revolution for a very, very bad law. So I'm like, 3 more weeks, and I can have this guy exiled out of my country and just tell him to fuck up. Very much looking forward to that. Good lord. Man. Yeah, I'm just doing my first attempt to ever try to make a communist country in Victoria 3. So I'm doing the Great Qing, which when you start in 1836, it's huge. It's even more land than modern-day China's borders. So all I'm trying to do is just hold on to that and then make them communist and then not get raped by European countries. It was fairly stressful to start, but things have been going in a better direction.
So is your goal to kill everybody in your country since you're doing the communist country?
Unironically, because there are more people than there are potential jobs. So yeah, you kind of do need to off a ton of. I'm like, all right, everybody, who's ready to join the army? And then just go fucking throw wave after wave of man at anybody around us, so that we can look like a big dog. Meanwhile, all we really did was manage to bring some of this unemployment down.
Good call.
God. Seriously.
Trust me, this 30-second scene of Kaji railing Masato's cheeks is very important for the plot.
Absolutely.
God, it's so nice that tomorrow's Sunday.
God. This fucking foot injury rendering me an invalid has stolen an entire week from me.
Inspector.
It's brutal.
I'm glad you're here.
What do you know about the underground racing circuit?
Well, they drive fast. Occasionally they crash into something.
Yeah, and occasionally they end up killing each other.
Well, that's
Too bad
manslaughter
somebody
at
didn't,
best.
like, run a car
These
over
last
your
couple
foot
of
so you
files
could at
don't
least
feel like
collect a little
manslaughter to
insurance
me.
money or something.
It's got more of a
Seriously.
deliberate feel to it.
Nah, there's a much simpler explanation for this.
Get into the circuit and
The
see what you
light
can find out.
over my
Right.
staircase,
See you.
the light bulb's burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't you know it, I accidentally tripped. Woohoo.
Man, this game is actually really simple compared to something like GTA 5. And don't get me wrong, I love GTA 5, but there's a simplicity to this game that I actually like quite a bit. It's like we've got GTA 5 at home, but that's not a bad thing. Like, the simplicity and the smoothness of the game compared to something like GTA 5 is actually appreciated as a change of pace, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I can understand it.
I'm Wei. Wei Shen. You up for a race?
It just feels nice and comfy. Oh yeah, that made an immediate impact in the stability of my country. Yeeting that fucker out of my country. Holy fuck, that was amazing. Feels good.
Hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh? Oh shit, oh shit. Actually, this mission's making me think about, in the area in which I live, there's been a lot of adding roundabouts where they're not needed because of illegal street racing. They're trying to put a stop to it by adding a bunch of unnecessary roundabouts. It's annoying, but I guess it's the best possible way to deal with the problem.
Well, the best possible way to deal with the problem is going to be the first initial weeks after those things go up, when people are not aware of that yet, and especially if the illegal street races also include drunk drivers. What's going to happen is the people are going to not realize that's there, still be going as fast as they had been, hit the roundabout, and then fucking die. And that's what's actually going to help, is the people doing all these illegal street races will fucking die. And so then the problem will take care of itself.
Yeah,
Do not go anywhere near those roundabouts within the first few months of them being around. That will... like 10 years ago, when I was going to this one junior college, the first place I went to college, in the city where this was located, there was a very sharp hairpin turn on one of the back roads that would take you to the freeway when you were leaving the campus. And on the sharp hairpin turn, there was a very, very large and old oak tree. And that very, very large and old oak tree, there was, every year, there was a group of parents of children who had been killed in a drunk driving accident slamming into that tree. Always campaigning to get it torn down. Every single year, it would never happen. And the reason is because when the year would start, there would be a bunch of drunk driving deaths slamming into that tree. And then, like, after a month goes by, suddenly no one's drunk driving at all. It's because all the people who drive drunk are repeat offenders, and they had all fucking already killed themselves by slamming into that tree. So it's a brutal fucking concept, but the fucking city literally viewed it as a public service, because they're like, hey, you know.
Can I help you with something?
Yeah.
I could see
Are
that.
you Ping?
No, there's no Ping.
How about the owner then?
I'm the owner. Just not Ping.
All right, not Ping. I'm picking up hardware for Orange Lotus. You know it?
Orange Lotus? Sure. This is some pretty sophisticated stuff. Sure you can handle it?
I'll manage.
My number's on the package. You need a hand getting slot X into socket Y? Give me a call.
He's hot. I can go for it.
I got it.
Thank heavens. We have schools now. I need 4,000 bureaucracy. Holy shit. Oh, we're gonna be at it for a minute. Good Lord.
I got it.
Our surveillance team reports that you should be able to get onto the roof from the construction site next door. Whatever you do, don't let them see you planting that bug.
No shit.
Boom. What the heck? Why would the Lakers even make a go-all-in trade? Like, they're not close to being a contender right now. Acquiring, like, Zach LaVine is not going to make them a contender. Like, what are they trying to do? Make the playoffs?
Yes, because this is how delusional they are. You gotta follow the logic train here. This is the exact position they were in last season, where they made a trade at the deadline to get rid of Westbrook, who was making them not even a play-in team. They get rid of Westbrook, they pick up a couple other guys, they're good enough to make the play-in. They barely managed to get there, and then they managed to get lucky enough. First by going up against the Grizzlies team, which was absolutely mentally scattered by losing Ja and having that whole fucking scandal going on. Then after that, they go up against the washed Warriors team, which already spent their life force just to get past Sacramento barely in 7 games. Then they got absolutely raped senseless by Denver the moment they played a good team. They're thinking that they made the Western Conference Finals based off of merit, and they're thinking that they're just one more trade away from being a contender again. They're not grasping that they got lucky as fuck last year. So yeah, that's exactly what they're thinking, is that if we just make a trade for Zach LaVine, this is gonna put us over the top, and they're just gonna get fucking raped again the moment they go up against. There's a lot more good teams that are gonna be making the playoffs this year. Aside from Denver would kill them, Minnesota would kill them, Oklahoma would kill them. Fuck. That the Suns were healthy, even though they don't have the best depth in the world. The Lakers are one of the few teams that the Suns would actually be able to get past. So yeah, it's just delusion. And they'll get fucking molested before long. Everybody knows it.
No, I understand that, David, but 1 or even 2 moves is not going to get them to the top of the standings. They're not even close, is what I mean. It's like, they need to make these moves just to make the play-in. Any smart team would be like, okay, time to tank. It'd be one thing if they were like the 5 seed and they're like, okay, we want to be the 3 seed. Air Crowbar, I don't even know if Snacks knows who that is.
Check. Snacks say something nice about Chelsea Handler. I like the name Chelsea, at least.
You know who that is, though.
Googling her now. Comedian and actress. Television host. Oh no. It's getting worse and worse. Let me check what she's been in. I recognize plenty of the things that she's been in, but I don't recognize her roles because they were extremely minor in the stuff that I recognize. Oh, isn't she that one broad who banged 50 Cent so she thought that she had the opportunity to weigh in on 50 Cent liking Trump?
Okay.
Not good for one's karma.
I think that's
What makes you think I'm in the triad?
It sounds
Don't lie to me.
sounds familiar.
If there are things you can't reveal, don't.
Yeah, she briefly dated 50 Cent
Why do
around
we talk about the
2011.
things I can't reveal.
We don't need to. I knew
Bless.
you well once. I don't believe people change that much.
Right. Appreciate your faith.
She stated in 2016 that a Trump presidency would be the end of our civilization. He must have been referring to the civilization of subterranean Jews.
If only.
Feminist woke-ass comedian with, I assume, a good deal of plastic surgery on her face. Yeah, she's 46, but she looks like she's in her 70s. I don't know why broads think that that particular style of plastic surgery looks good, but it literally doesn't. It's so bad.
Stop by again if you find one of my statues.
I thought we were just making rice cookers.
So, how's business?
Well, in a way, you
Not
were.
very good. Sales are way down.
Ladies and
Shirts are
gentlemen,
just
we
too
got it.
boring. Hey, could you help me get some new design? I want to do a landscape series. Really capture what's cool about the city.
Yeah, sure.
Give me a couple of classic shots. Email them over when you have them.
Got it.
I'd rather shove a cactus up my ass. Whoa!
Got him.
Guy was gonna beat the shit out of me for hitting his car with my motorcycle. That's fucked up, dude. I could have died.
Can I help you? I have some wonderful herbal tea.
All right, I'll take it.
You should notice the effects right away.
Hello, sir, this is Jesus. I just want to take a moment to talk to you about your post.
Good stuff right there.
Have you heard about this Stanley Cup tumbler thing lately?
Yeah, some kind of obsession people have with a cup.
Yeah, it's
A
very
little
weird.
but you know, it is what it is.
I don't... Yeah, where the hell did it come from?
Now that's not something I expected to see. In Victoria 3, exiles and dissidents and all that kind of stuff. It can be any character who gets exiled out of their country and still represents someone politically. So Prussia just exiled Otto von Bismarck. Which I'm sitting there like, hold on a second. Something ain't right.
Oh, so JS, they're like Gucci purses or something. They're expensive just because people say so. And they're valuable and desirable just because people say so. There's nothing special about it. It's just a cultural phenomenon. Okay. I can dig it.
That tracks.
I'm not here to knock, I mean, I don't get the Gucci purse thing, I guess, but, whatever you gotta do to flex, I guess.
Seriously.
This will look good.
Oh. Even the glitches are funny.
Finally.
Oh, that's an interesting observation, JS. Maybe.
Hey, yeah, you. Hey, get the hell out of the way.
Sorry, I just can't resist the camera.
That's it, asshole.
Oh, God. I actually have to beat this guy up? That's hilarious. That was fucking hilarious. You know, I remember a few years ago when I built this PC, I actually ordered 2 graphics cards with the intention to resell the second one for profit to defray the cost of building the PC, but my second one, the order ultimately got canceled because they never restocked enough to get the second one, so I only got the one. This was back when, you know, that kind of stuff was normal, where like you would have a fucking graphics 3070 go on sale and everybody just like started masturbating all over it to get it. You don't see that so much now. I'm assuming it's much easier to get a high-end graphics card if you want it, because the crypto things died off a little
bit. The obsession over crypto has definitely substantially cratered because it's now too mainstream and involved. There's no easy way to turn things around anymore, and a lot of other places have already kind of like monopolized the whole concept of it. Plus, people thought it was something that you could easily do way back in the day, but after years of it being a concept, they've realized that it's not as simple to do anymore. I'll go on Newegg real quick and check components and storage, GPUs, graphics cards. That's just what's featured. How about best selling? Okay, that's a little better. Yeah,
Good. I understand your
plenty of things. You know, it's certainly more expensive than it used to be, but not as much of a catastrophe as it used to be back in the day.
To me, anyway.
I'm hoping that this PC will last me another approximately, I want to say, 5-6 years.
About my career. Fair enough. What would you like to?
I have got to raise our standard of living. It is rock bottom, good lord.
I yearn for the my students. Merely
140th worldwide. Good lord.
Have you no pride, Ming?
At least we're getting more of our people to read.
Please stop by again to find one of my statues.
Like, when you went on Newegg, what was the best graphics card you were able to find that could be bought right now?
Oh, well, there wasn't any kind of limitation on anything that I found. I haven't been keeping up enough to know what is top of the line for anything. Oh, 4070, okay. GPUs. 4070, go. And sort by best selling. Roughly around $550, depending on what manufacturer you go to. Yeah, it is high.
No, that's, dude, I spent double that on my 3070 3 years ago. I'm like,
okay.
I wish. And that's after
That's valid too.
inflation.
Yes, exactly. So that I think I was thinking about trying to communicate that as a point, but I failed because I was trying to focus on so many different things at once. But parts are still expensive, but it's expensive relative to everything being expensive, and not like the humongous amount, the huge cost that it was back when it hit the peak of that shit being absolutely bonkers. Because you had it was a double whammy. First was the crypto boom, followed up by everyone wanted a new PC because of how bored they were during lockdown.
That's your big problem.
Yes, thank you so much, Wei. I knew I was right to trust you.
So demand stayed sky high while production just kept going further and further down. If you're gonna want to get new parts, though, you should probably do it soon before Taiwan gets invaded.
Gonna be, like I said, I'm looking at 5-6 years before I have to build another PC. I'm not.
Yeah, no problem. No problem with that.
I got something.
I mean, this thing still handles everything like a dream.
Weapon belonging to one of Dog Eye's men. Do you know Charlie Peng?
Wait, how did you get Charlie Peng's gun?
Never mind. Can you use it?
Alright, meet me. I'm on my way.
Andrew? What are you doing here? Where's Raymond?
This is something I wanted to handle personally, Wei. Do you have Charlie Pang's gun?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've noticed that guns are something of a rarity in Hong Kong. Not like in the States. This particular gun is quite important.
So who's the dead guy?
I was hoping you'd help me with that, actually. Officer Shen, take up a firing position. Okay, you ready? All right, listen. It's simple. We'll have to recreate the fight.
Yeah! You think you can rip me off? Oh, hang on. Let's just talk about this. Fuck you. Let's go. Damn it.
First, he was in cover behind the barricade. Get down behind that barrier. Good. I want you to put some bullets in a few things.
You got 50 more years to get this country communist. It's only been 40 so far, so I think we can do it.
All right, good. By now, the van must have appeared on the scene. Then he must have run through over there. Shooting at the guys over there. There was a shooter, firing shots from the passenger window. But he couldn't get a clean shot, so he pushed forward. One more thing. He would have tried to get away, but Charlie disabled the car. Your weapon, officer. Good firing, Wei.
Pendrew! What are you doing?
I told you he wasn't important. Now he is. He's going to help us nail Charlie Pang. It's for the greater good, Wei. You understand?
I don't think I do, sir.
Wei, I know who you are. You're just like me. You do what must be done. Local PD is on their way. You should go.
Not a good vehicle. Oh shit. God damn it. I know what I have to do. All right, happy endings. Let's go. Let's get it.
I'll be here tomorrow, waiting just for you.
My boyfriend is so cute, I feel so... Yeah, but his brother is kind of funny.
Do people actually just lay down in their clothes and go to sleep like that? I refuse to believe that people actually do things like that. It's so weird.
Homeless people do, but not anybody else.
Yeah.
Regular people. Like, unless you're talking about they are so genuinely exhausted that they damn near pass out completely.
Alright guys, that's gonna do it for tonight. I'll see you guys in the morning.
Woo.